Hello, friends! Welcome to QPAC Live, a program of the Queensborough Performing Arts Center located on the campus of Queensborough Community College in Bayside, Queens, New York. If you don't know where that is, look us up and come pay a visit when you're in town. We are so happy to be kicking off Friday night with you. You know, we come to you live every week to celebrate the arts with programs that are unique and exciting. And tonight is no exception. We have a fabulous guest for you. Now, bear with us. We are having some technical difficulties, but I believe that through a little innovation, we will be able to bring you the great Hampton Callaway. But first, I do want to make an announcement about some things coming up. We have a great program for the adults. Let me just make that a little clearer for you. And that's our Gotta Dance program on February 6th. We all get up and we get sweaty and we dance to the music of Broadway. So you might want to think about joining us. It's only $5 to participate, and we have such a fun time. There's great camaraderie, and we work up a sweat, and we get to listen to the music that we've been longing for so long. So that's Gotta Dance, and that's on February 6th. And then the kids get a chance to get in on the action. Gotta Dance Kids. This too is only $5, and you can register your child at www.visitqpac, that's QPAC.org. And those classes begin at the end of February. And then what else do we've got? Well, of course, we also have coming this Tuesday, every other Tuesday, we play Name That Tune on QPAC Live. And this Tuesday is the Disney edition. Now, folks, this is not just for children. This is for the whole family. If you think you know your Disney, join us. We've got our host, DJ Bucciarelli. It's really tremendous fun. You get an actual scorecard, which you will be able to fill out and submit at the end of the contest. And then there's a winner. The winner wins an Amazon gift card, and there's lots of other surprises. So you'll want to join us on Tuesday for Name That Tune on QPAC Live. So that's what we have coming up. I hope you will join us for one of these fabulous programs. How are you? You've made it to another Friday. We can do this together through a little music and dance and joy, and we're going to be able to get through this together. So I do have Hampton Callaway in the house, and it's a very strange thing because we are going to be able to hear her, but she, for some reason, cannot hear us. So there's going to be some magic tonight. But without further ado, let me bring her on. And then what we'll do is we will type to her some questions for her to answer. We will get involved in a little bit in a Q&A after her set. But Anne will be able to come to you live with some of the most delightful songs from the American Songbook. You know, she is a leading champion of this music, the American Songbook. She has made her mark as a singer and pianist and composer and lyricist and arranger and actress. She's best known for her Tony-nominated performance in Swing, the Broadway musical Swing. And of course, she is known for composing and performing the theme song to The Nanny. How many of you were Nanny fans? Raise your hand. I certainly was. Still am. So you'll see that tonight when you listen to Anne, if you go back and listen to the theme song of The Nanny, you're going to say, oh, yes, I get it. That indeed is the voice that introduced us to the program every week. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Anne on. Now stick with me for a minute. Oh, She got fixed. I think she can hand me. Come on in, Anne.
Why, it's so wonderful to see you and hear you, Susan, and welcome to everybody who's watching the show. The tech gods were having fun with us today, and I was just teaching a voice lesson before the show, and something happened, and my volume was off of my computer. So it was as simple as that, and now we will have a lovely, easy show. So thank you, tech gods above.
I really do have to laugh because, I mean, it just, you can't make it up. You cannot make up what we do, what went on behind the scenes.
It was hilarious. Maybe not really hilarious to us, but,
We're going to look back on this and we're going to, well, now that you're here, I'm going to ask you one or two questions just to get the party started. And then
wonderful to hear you. Can I just say, I love your accent. I grew up in Huntington, Long Island for part of my childhood, and it's a part of home that makes me feel so happy. So keep talking.
I've got to tell you, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I would need some serious training to get rid of it at this point.
No, don't. It's wonderful. Please.
Thank you for that. And would you tell us, at what age did you are so multi-talented that I don't even know what to attack first. When did you start playing music, or did you sing first? What came first?
I grew up in such a musical family, Susan, that my sister and I both had this amazing, we didn't even realize how lucky we were, but we had a mother who sang and played piano. We'd come home from school and she'd be singing The Man I Love at the piano. And our father he liked to sing, but he was a wonderful journalist and he was on television and radio. And there was always this sense of music was the soundtrack to our lives at all times. But I remember seeing my mom and saying, I want to do that. And she put me on her lap and she put my little hands on the keys of the piano and I started playing with the piano. And I think first and foremost, I'm a singer. I feel such a natural calling to sing, but the piano called to me, and I was a very bad voice student because I was a bad sight reader, but my ear has always guided me and I love playing the piano. And so it's fun during this pandemic to do a lot more work instead of with my wonderful bands, playing the piano and singing like my mom did. And so I'm very grateful for her introduction to the glories of music from a keyboard.
You are just so incredible. So the piano actually came, and you play so beautifully. It blows my mind that the singing came first and then the piano. What about the composing?
Well, I do remember making up a song when I was 3 years old, and my dad actually, when I was a little girl, he didn't know how to play the piano. He was a drummer in college, but he would go to the piano and he would say, once upon a time there were little children and they were playing outside. And then there was thunder. And the children ran for shelter, and it rained, and finally the sun was shining, and little butterflies came out. And it was that simple little silly exercise that made me realize that you could tell a story through music. And so as I was just sitting at the piano, making up stuff, making up fake Beethoven and things like that, I immediately started playing and making up songs at a very young age. And I learned the guitar a little bit when I was a young girl. And that went so far. But when I heard Carole King, when I was about 12 years old, her album Tapestry, that was it. I just had to become a songwriter. And then I really took it seriously. And I'm so glad, because to this day, it's one of my all-time favorite things to do.
Well, we are going to play a song that you wrote, that Anne wrote for us just a short while ago, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that. With that, we have so many questions for you. Anne says, what is your Patricia, hi Patricia. Patricia says, how could you ask a question like that? What is your favorite song? Do you actually have a favorite song?
I do, actually. And I'm going to be singing it this Sunday at the Callaway Hideaway when I perform my show, Cinematic Serenade. And it's the first song I ever fell in love with as a little girl, Over the Rainbow. and I practiced Judaism, the worship of all great women named Judy. And Judy Garland was my first favorite singer besides my mom. And hearing her sing that as a little girl was so magical to me. And then through the years, the song took on so many meanings. But I never sang it live until the 100th anniversary of Harold Arlen. And then I realized this song belonged to me also. That wasn't just Judy Garland's song. And so ever since then, I've been singing it, and it's, to me, just the most profoundly beautiful, perfectly written song that I can think of. There's so many other songs that are right next to it, but that is, I think, not just because of the beauty of the song, but all the memories attached through the years that make it more and more special as time goes by.
Amazing. We have more questions, and I'm sure you'll have more answers for us. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure. And we're going to let you do your set, and then we'll be back on for the
Fantastic.
Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ann Hampton Callaway.
Thank you, everybody. I'm so delighted to be able to celebrate the Great American Songbook. It was a time when extraordinary men and women were writing and creating the voice of our nation, the Great American Songbook. This is like Duke Ellington, Irving Berlin, Jerome Kern, Rodgers and Hart, Cole Porter, George and Ira Gershwin. We're going to start off with a little Duke. Here we go. In a mellow tone, feeling fancy free, but I'm not alone. I've got company. Everything's okay. The livelong night and day. I've got this mellow song, and I can't go wrong in a mellow tone. That's the way to live. If you mope and groan, something's gotta give. Just go your way. There's love to play. There is joy unknown in a mellow fancy free, but I'm not alone. I'm with all of you here at QPAC. Everything's okay, the livelong night and day. 'Cause with this mellow song, how can a diva go wrong? Well, in a mellow tone, that's the way to live. 'Cause if you mope and you groan, and you mope and you groan, you know that something's got to give. Just go your way and laugh and play. There's joy unknown in a mellow tone. In a mellow tone. In a mellow tone. A song by Duke. Thank you so much. imagining your applause and your toasting. I'm going to toast to you from my Callaway Hideaway Special glass. I fell in love with this wonderful music when I was a little girl, and my parents had an amazing record collection. And they played great jazz singers like Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan and Frank Sinatra, this kind of pop jazz singer, and Billie Holiday and Betty Carter, and the list goes on, Carmen McRae. And then, of course, there were the marvelous pop singers like Peggy Lee and Frank Sinatra and so many more that played these and sang these extraordinary songs, and they have become my friends through the years, more beautiful, more timeless. They've somehow found ways, these great writers that I mentioned at the top of the show, and I'm still shaking off the tech. If you hear a little nerves, I'm still shaking off the technology strangeness that happened just a little while ago. So I'm going to totally relax very shortly. I can feel it. But somehow these authors of these songs created 4-minute moments in life that take us away, sweep us away into the deepest, most personal, important moments of our lives. When we realize we're in love, when we realize what matters, when we say goodbye to someone. All these moments in life that words can never quite express, but music with words, and off we go on the wings of great, great music. So I'm going to sing now probably one of my all-time favorite love songs. We're almost up to Valentine's Day coming up, and Irving Berlin, who wrote words and music to all his great songs, wrote the song. And he was able to convey the depth of love that he had through questions. And so I'm going to perform a song I recorded on my very first CD, How Deep is the Ocean? How can I tell you what is in my heart? How can I measure each and every part? How can I tell you how much I love you? How can I tell you just how much I do? How much do I love you? I'll tell you no lie. How deep is the ocean? How high is the sky? How many times a day do I think of you? How many roses are sprinkled with dew? How far would I travel to be where you are? How far is the journey from here to a star? And if I ever lost you, how how much would I cry? How deep is the ocean? How high is the sky? And if I ever lost you, how much would I cry? How deep is the ocean? How high is the sky? Thank you so much. Irving Berlin. Isn't that a glorious song? And I'm going to turn off my phone because I was waiting for somebody with technical help. So I love all life's little funny jokes. Well, you know, there are so many extraordinary songs of this time. Most of the Great American Songbook is written somewhere between the 20s and the 50s, and we sneak into the 60s a little bit as well. But when Irving Berlin, who actually started out in operetta, started teaming up with writers like Oscar Hammerstein II, some of the glorious melodies that he wrote from his classical training, wedded to beautiful contemporary words, created songs like this one. There have been many musicologists who believe that this is one of the perfect melodies of all time. And here it is, All the Things You Are. If you're sitting next to someone you love, you might want to sit closer. And if you miss somebody, you should send them a text. But here's a beautiful love song. And I swing a little bit, so we're going to have some fun too. Time and again I've longed for adventure, something to make my heart beat the faster. What did I long for? I never really knew. Finding your love, I found my adventure. Touching your hand, my heart beats the faster. All that I want in all of this world is you. You are the promised kiss of springtime that makes the lonely winter seem long. You are the breathless hush of evening that trembles on the brink of a lovely song. You are the angel glow that lights a star. The dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are mine. So you are the promised kiss of springtime that makes the lonely winter seem long. You are the breathless hush of evening that trembles on the brink of a lovely song. You're the angel glow that lights the dark. The dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are mine. When all the things you are, when all the things you are, when all the things you are mine. You hear all those beautiful, beautiful lines, the harmonies, the beautiful form that just circles and circles of harmonies. Just exquisite songwriting. Thank you, Jerome Kern. Well, this next song is, to me, one of the most beautiful ballads written for a Broadway show that Richard Rodgers and Lorenz Hart wrote. And I love the work that Richard Rodgers did with Oscar Hammerstein, who are great optimists in the songwriting world. But something about the wry, bittersweet wit and sensibility of Lorenz Hart really speaks to my soul. And here's a song that I recorded on a CD called After Hours with Kenny Barron at the piano. And it's a wonderful song in a Broadway show, but it's an even better song to me for jazz singers, because we can live in the moment of our lives and make it so personal. Have you ever made a mistake with a love, and have you ever taken them for granted? This is a song for you. Once I laughed when I heard you saying that I'd be playing solitaire, uneasy in my easy chair. It never entered my mind. Once you told me I was mistaken, that I'd awaken with the sun and order orange juice for one. It never entered my mind. You have what I lack myself. And now I even have to scratch my back myself. Once you warned me that if you scorned me, I'd sing the maiden's prayer again. And I'd wish that you were there again to get into my hair again. It never entered my mind. Only you have what I lack myself. And now I even have to scratch my back myself. Once you warned me that if you scorned me, I'd sing the maiden's prayer again. And I'd wish that you were there again to get into my hair again. It never entered my mind. Richard Rogers, Llewellyn's Heart, reminding us never to take each other for granted. Well, I'm going to do one more song by a man, a fellow Midwesterner, a fellow Gemini, a man who, as I like to say of certain people, had so much savoir it isn't fair. The great Cole Porter. In fact, those of you who know my music know that I am the only composer to have ever collaborated with Cole Porter in a song called I Gaze in Your Eyes, but we're not going to do that right now. We're going to close this little set with a song from my recent CD called Jazz Goes to the Movies, where I celebrated some of the great classic standards from films. And I love this song for the start of a new year, 2021. It's taken a while for 2020 to say goodbye, and I'm not sure it's had quite the end of its final words, but this is my hope for this new year. Well, let's stay optimistic and let's hold to these marvelous, beautiful words by Cole Porter. From this moment on, you for me, dear, only two for tea, dear. From this moment on, from this happy day, no more blue songs, only whoop-de-doo songs. From this moment on, for you've got the love I need so much. You've got the skin I love to touch. You've got the arms to hold me tight. You've got the sweet lips to kiss me goodnight. From this moment on, you and I, babe, we'll be flying high, babe. Every care is gone. From this moment on, oh, come on, scat, sing with me. For you've got the love I need so much. You got the skin I love to touch. You got the arms to hold me tight, and you've got the sweet lips to kiss me goodnight. From this moment on, you and I, babe, will be riding high, babe. Every care is gone. From this moment, from this moment, from this moment on.
Hooray!
Thank you so much.
Amazing, just amazing. We're getting so much wonderful feedback from our viewers tonight. Anne, can you please tell us the Cole Porter story?
Yes, a friend of mine named Bradshaw Smith, who was a videographer and a singer, we lost him at a very young age, unfortunately, but it was in the early 80s, and he was getting ready to put a Cole Porter show together. And he was doing a lot of beautiful research and discovered 2 lyrics of Cole Porter's that had never been set to music. And since we were friends and he liked my songwriting, he said, Anne, I think you should set these to music. So the first one, ironically, I just sang It Never Entered My Mind, was a lyric that he wrote called It Never Entered My Head. And I wrote the music, but it didn't seem like something that would go very far. And the next lyric I set to music was called I Gaze in Your Eyes. And so I set the poem, the beautiful lyric, to music, and I sang it in my nightclub acts around New York City. And one day I was in a recording session with the marvelous producer, Ben Bagley. And he did all these really eclectic little CDs of great composers and some of the lesser known songs. And I said, Ben, let me sing to you the song I wrote with Cole Porter. And so he fell in love with the song, and he said, well, we must put this on the CD. And I said, we can't. It's not published. And I can't imagine they would ever, take this seriously. And he said, well, let me see what I can do about that. I went off to London, and little beknownst to me, he was very clever, being an Irishman, and he decided to not take no for an answer, because the ladies who answered the phone said, oh no, we would never have a collaboration with the great Cole Porter. And Ben said, let's have the head of the estate say no. Let's make sure that he agrees that no is the right answer. So he played my cassette in his car and apparently wept and decided that it must be published. And so it began this life of this lyric that took on all these amazing stories, including being on the BBC the following trip to London. And the man who Cole Porter fell in love with called in and said, his name was Jeffrey, and he said, I am the man these words were written for. And he sent me the letter with the words. And it just was chills. And I still am astonished by the story. But I'm so glad the song has a life. And it's on my first CD, cleverly called Hampton, Callaway, I Gaze in Your Eyes. And then the great Elaine May recorded it, and several other people recorded it. So I'm glad to have that wonderful honor with one of my favorite composers.
You've written for and with so many people. Vinny wants to know what it was. He said that, or you said that Carole King was one of your heroes, and
Yes.
then you actually wrote with her. What was that like?
It was an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
I had been doing a show with my sister in LA, and that year I had made a New Year's resolution. I'm going to write more songs, and I'm going to be daring about my songwriting. And so Carole King had come to our show, and we were talking afterwards. And I said to her, she was so warm and sweet. We'd already known each other for a little bit. And I said, I'm writing, I'm going to record one of your songs on my next CD. Are you going to be in New York? And she said, I will be in New York. And I heard myself say, and I'm writing songs with people. Would you like to write one with me? And my inner Anne was like, no, did you just say that to Carole King? And guess what she said? She said yes. And I thought we were going to be emailing back and forth between LA and New York, but no, she decided, because she knew I like to improvise, she decided that we should do the song the day of the recording. So that's what happened. 11 a.m. she came, we sipped coffee, we wrote improv poetry. And I don't know, the band was coming in at 1, and about 12:15 we said, hey, we better get the show on the road. And I'd had an idea a while for a song. I talked to her about it, and then immediately we started writing it. And she stayed to teach it to the band, and then she did backup vocals on it. And it was just, it's called Tonight You're All Mine. It's on my Makeout album called Slow. And to hear her voice singing backups for me is just surreal. And to this day, she's truly one of the great, great human beings on this planet. The songs, the heart, the way she lives life, it's just a joy to know her. And I think part of what these stories are that you're asking me to answer about are sort of examples of humble audacity, because you know that you're being outrageous, but sometimes you don't really get to make things happen until you just say what you'd really dream of. And so I'm these days a big fan of that.
That is, I am too, and that is really incredible. What about someone like Barbra Streisand? I mean, you
dropped a name. Let me pick that up for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you have written for her. Let's see, you have lyrics on 7 of her CDs.
That's right. Yes, thank you. You've done your homework.
Absolutely. When you work with someone like her, does she interact with you, or is it kind of, does she ever come to you and say, I'd like this lyric changed?
Oh, chances are you're going to need to rewrite lyrics. If Sondheim rewrote lyrics for Streisand, you know that the answer is yes. In fact, I recently wrote to her producer, A&R guy, Jay Landers, who's one of my favorite guys in showbiz. And I sent him some new songs I had written, and he was really interested in one of them that I'm going to release on Valentine's Day for Barbra as a duet, possibly. And he said, are you willing to Barbarize this? And I said, you know me. Of course I'm willing to fine-tune it for Barbra. She really loves she loves when something makes perfect sense to her. And if there's anything about a song that doesn't, and she can't live with it. So I understand that about her. And I love getting to know her idiosyncrasies and her vision of something and really trying to honor her dream of what a song can be. And it's actually made me a better songwriter through the years. So, but talking to her on the phone one day when I think on my 65th rewrite of At the Same Time, my first song that she recorded, it's like, I don't know what to do. I really don't understand what's wrong with the existing lyric. And so she got on the phone with me and talked to me, and there was that voice,
Oh.
Again, Brooklyn accent, not quite like yours, but I learned so much. She said, Anna, I want you to make it simple but profound. When you hear it the first time, I want you to understand the meaning. But then when you hear it again and again, it has new meanings, new ideas. And so that's kind of how I try to write songs, where the lyrics take on new shades of possibility.
And that was actually very, very good. Do you do that? Can you impersonate?
Oh my God, of course I can, Susan. I mean, I don't understand why you would doubt me for one moment.
And is there other people
Go on.
Are there other people that you also can impersonate like that?
Good morning, Harry, you old gloomy side. Good morning, Harry. Thought we said goodbye last night. That was my imitation of Audra McDonald imitating Billie Holiday.
I must ask you your range. What kind of a range do you? How many octaves?
Some people, for many years have said I have a 3-octave range, but some people 4-octave range, the way they measure it. As I have gotten older, I've lost some of my high notes. I never really needed an E flat over high C, so it's not really that big of a deal. But about 3 genuine octaves, and I use them in a show. I really love, as a jazz singer, as a pop jazz singer, I do like to go to different places in my voice, and I always think of a voice as an orchestra.
You are so fluid. I mean, the way you just go up and down the scales is just breathtaking, really.
Thank you.
It's effortless and it's breathtaking. And it's interesting that you said that you lost some at the very top, but you're right. I mean, how often do you have to sing an E flat over high C?
What's really great, Susan, is that as a singer, when I moved to New York from Chicago, I was a classically trained singer, and I was actually a lyric soprano. I had some serious high notes there, and then there was a while there I thought maybe I'd want to go into opera, but it really was too confining of a life for me, and so I had to take all my songs down about a third. And now, as a singer, as years have gone by, I really like my voice more now. That it's become more of a cello and not a violin. I love the deep, sultry sounds of a woman's voice as it matures. And so I'm actually loving how the years are treating my voice, and I'm grateful to enjoy people are so bent on this is how my voice should sound, and if I can't sound that way, I shouldn't sing anymore. I can't tell you how many women and men say this to me. And you have to love your voice and take good care of your voice and embrace how it changes and grows through your life.
That is such good advice. Now, the Nanny.
Yes.
You must tell us that story. How did they come to you to write that song?
Well, it's funny to be able to talk about this because a few nights ago, my sister Liz was doing a reunion of the show Baby, which she won a Tony nomination for.
I must stop you and tell you how much I love Liz and how much I love her voice. And when the two of you say, there's nothing like siblings singing together, because you, after all, you share some of the same genes.
Right.
So there's this sort of melting of the voices that go on together that's so spectacular. She is a tremendous singer as well, with a little different style.
Yes, yeah.
And it's exceptional hearing you apart and hearing you together.
Well, thank you very much, and I couldn't agree more. It's really one of the great joys of my life to have a sister that talented and such a beautiful person to boot, and to be able to sing with her is an exquisite joy. But getting back to the Nanny, her co-star Todd Graff was very close friends with Fran Drescher, right before Fran Drescher became really super famous. And he heard that I was singing at Don't Tell Mama, which was this, well-known cabaret.
That's right.
In the West 40s. And so he said, hey, Fran, let's go check out Liz Callaway's sister. And so I was doing a show of original songs, and so she was in the audience, and she really liked my writing, and she came up to me afterwards. Another great accent. Hi, honey. My name is Fran Drescher. You're so talented. I think we need to work together. I've got some pilots I'm working on. I think we're going to write songs. I think we're going to do something special. So call me. And so I wrote several songs for her projects that did not go anywhere. And so these are expensive demos, and I was trying to, find that perfect song for her, and she liked what I was writing. Then she called me about the Nanny. But this time she was giving it to all these famous songwriters in Los Angeles. So when she told me about the pilot and she told me about the show, I thought, I better write 2 songs to compete with everybody else. And then I had the intelligence that my father passed down to me to talk to her, to hear from her. What did she want in the song? What were the most important things she wanted the audience to know about her character and what was going to happen in the show? So I took careful notes as she told me all these things. And the last part of our conversation, I said, Fran, in a nutshell, who is Fran Fine? She thought for a moment. She said, honey, she's the lady in red when everyone else is wearing tan. I wrote those words down, and I think because I captured her spirit so well, I got the job, I got the song, and I told her, you should have the Manhattan Transfer sing the song. It would be so fabulous, which it would have. And she said, no, I want you. And then I got Liz involved, and so Liz and I are on the recording, and it's been such an amazing ride to travel through the world, and people all over the world except London love the Nanny, love the song, and it's nice to be part of pop culture history.
Do you know what House Party is?
I've heard of it, but no, I don't really know. Pardon me.
So House Party is this app where families, people, it's kind of like a Zoom, but you don't have to have an ID number or anything like that. You just sort of put your name in there, and you could get together with people anytime you want. And in this app, they have all sorts of interesting things you can do. You can play games. You could even sing karaoke. Well, I want you to know that so just about every night, my family and I get together on House Party to catch up with one another. And my niece, they have the theme song from The Nanny as one of the options to sing karaoke. And the lyrics come up, and every night she does her rendition of that song, and it's really so much fun. And I didn't know if you knew that the song was
no, I love it. I'm gonna have to check that out. And if you ever have a chance to record your daughter singing that song, I'd love to hear her rendition of it.
My niece, she's really we'll absolutely do that. Hey, which reminds me, if anybody out there wants to record themselves singing a little bit of the theme song from The Nanny, and you post it on QPAC's Facebook page, we're going to send you a fabulous little gift. This is QPAC Live. They are Bluetooth earbuds. And we're going to send that to you if you go ahead and post yourself singing the theme song from The Nanny in tribute to Anne on the QPAC Facebook page. So that'll be fun. Now, also, you have a show on Sunday. Tell us a little bit about that, because we are posting the information in the comments so people know where to tune in.
That's so nice of you. Thank you, Susan. This, just so you people don't know who are not familiar with this virtual series, is here in my home. Every last Sunday of the month, I've been doing a theme show, and this Sunday, the first show of the year, is going to be called Cinematic Serenade, and I'm doing fabulous, beloved movie songs from glorious movies, American in Paris, The Wizard of Oz, A Star is Born, Breakfast at Tiffany's, et cetera, et cetera. And in fact, I put all the movie posters on my Facebook page today because they're such fun. And so at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Time, we will gather on Zoom, and I will sing a beautiful program of requests from my fantastic following of dear friends. And it's really become such a cherished tradition to have this kind of intimate gathering during a pandemic where we see each other and there's applause. You actually hear applause, and it's very personal, and it's delightful. So I'm looking forward to this beautiful program and sweeping people away from their problems into these great movie classics.
Tell us a little bit about Swing.
Swing was a dream come true because I loved Broadway and I wanted to be on Broadway. And when my sister Liz and I quit college and moved to New York, we wanted to be on Broadway. Liz got on Broadway a year later after moving to New York. My story was different. I was 5'10" and worth the climb, as I like to say. I didn't look like an ingenue. People did not know what to do with me. They thought I was talented. So for the longest time, there was no hope of Broadway until somebody was looking for an Hampton Callaway type for a musical review on swing. And swing was this resurgence of love for swing dancing going on in the world, not just America, but the world. And so finally, 6 months after this person was looking for an Hampton Callaway type, somebody had the great idea to actually call Hampton Callaway. And so I met with the producers and the director, and lo and behold, my dream came true, and I got to star on a Broadway musical and have one of the great times of my life.
I remember seeing it. It was a great show. In fact, I auditioned for it.
You're kidding. Wow. What did you audition for? Were you a dancer or?
No, that's the funny thing. I think early on, they really didn't, they were still trying to get clarity on the roles.
Right,
and,
yes.
I went in as a singer. And I got a call back. In fact, I got 2 callbacks. It was the craziest thing ever. And the callbacks were dance auditions. And I thought to myself, oh my God, goodness gracious. I mean, I had studied dance and I could dance, but I didn't consider myself a dancer first. And I went to the callbacks, and as you know, they keep eliminating. And they kept me around for a good long while.
That's wonderful.
So that was really a crazy thing. But eventually I was let go. And so
and they gave Laura Benanti, right? Was that the role?
Say it again.
Laura Benanti was the one of the main roles in the show. I don't know which role you were auditioning for.
At this point, I really don't even remember at this point, but it was one of the singing roles. I went to see it, and you were spectacular in it. It was great fun.
Thank you.
In fact, we've crossed paths a number of times. Let me see if I can. This was back in 2002. I was working for a different organization, and I had hired you for the gala. It was a tremendous show. There we are back in 2002 together.
Wow.
And, could you imagine? And here you were taking,
I still have that jacket, that St. John jacket. That's amazing.
Do you?
I do.
Just a great story. Well, we are getting close to wrapping things up. Can you just tell us a little bit more about the Write a Song on a Spot? Because that is so intriguing to me. It's
I do all kinds of things. I've been making up songs since I was a little girl. And I read a book by Bob Dylan called Tarantula, and he did free association writing and created a whole novel in a few weeks. And I thought, wow, what an amazing thing. So I've been just the first thing that comes to mind, following your instincts. And so for years, I've cultivated this trust. And when I moved to New York and people were so loud in bars and they weren't listening to the music, I actually thought, if I write a song based on what's going on in the room and play off of people, maybe people will start to listen. And it worked. And then I started to really cultivate the ability to write a song. So all I need, usually I ask for about 10 words and phrases about anything?
Well, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm asking our viewers. Go ahead, type in the comments right now. Give me a word. Give me just one word.
Or a phrase, a
Okay.
short phrase, yeah.
Or a phrase, and I'm going to convey that to Anne, and we're going to see what she can come up
I
for
got
us
my
right here.
pen already.
Thank you. Right here on the spot. So everybody out there, we've got, here's your first word. I'm putting it up on the screen.
Oh, thank you, Deb. Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks so much. That's really lovely. Something
Yeah,
that cannot be rhymed. Thank you
that's
so much, Deb DiMartini. Incorrigible.
that's really tough. Okay, here we've got one right here. This is great. Snowy, cold day. That's from my sister. Thanks, Adele.
Hi,
Snowy,
Adele.
hi, Adele. Snowy, cold day. All right.
Excellent.
We've got black lace.
Hi, Isabel. That's my voice student right there. A beautiful singer. Black lace. Very
How
sexy.
wonderful. Hi, Isabel. And oh God, Vinny, must we? I love pancakes.
Don't we all? I haven't had a pancake in I don't know how long.
I know.
Wow. I'm going to be thinking about that. Thank you, Vinny.
And do you want one more, or is that good enough?
No, I want two more.
Okay, so we've got truffle.
Oh,
and
thank you. There's Belinda from England. Hi, Belinda. Truffle. Yes, I put it on my website, on my Facebook page, rather, that was my favorite kind of popcorn. And I'm trying to write and talk. Not a good idea. Parmesan
and
popcorn.
We've got,
and so I gave everyone a recipe for it, and it's been spectacular. I'm hoping people, when they watch the movie show, will make really sexy popcorn. Truffle and Parmesan popcorn. One more, and I'm all set.
How about heartbeat?
Heartbeat. Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, this is a song that writes itself. Incorrigible, snowy cold day, black lace, I love pancakes, truffle and Parmesan popcorn, and heartbeat. It'll be like singing Misty, but different. In order for me to create this miracle, and a miracle it will be, I must now summon the magical muse. So please give me a moment of devout silence. Oh, harmony, melody, and words that rhyme and somehow make sense. Okay. Oh, me, oh my, what a snowy cold day. Why does this gloom have to stay? I need a little comfort, and I need it now. Gonna make myself some truffle and Parmesan popcorn, and I'm gonna love it, and how. Ooh, love my truffle and Parmesan popcorn. But I'm not content with how my cooking moments are spent. As my heart aches, I'm thinking about how I love pancakes. Gonna whip up some batter, gonna get out some creme fraiche, and I'm gonna put on some black lace, and I'm gonna act a little fresh as I feed my baby some homemade pancakes on the snowy, snowy cold day. Why does life feel so horrible when it's this cold? I feel like God is incorrigible. Somehow I divide every moment in search of heat to the sound of my own heartbeat. Well, I am happy with these pancakes and popcorn. And now I'm gonna make sweet love. Gonna slip under the covers as both of us discover love on a cold, cold, snowy, cold day. After truffle and Parmesan popcorn, pancakes and creme fraiche, love is the only way to end this cold, snowy day. Blues.
Bravo! Bravo!
Oh,
That
so
is
relaxing.
absolutely outrageous. I want to tell our viewers, remind them again that Anne is performing on Sunday. The link for the performance is in the comments, so you can
Thank
just
you.
click on it. And also, we were so thrilled when Anne agreed to write QPAC a song. And really, what was so incredible is that Anne did just what she said. She asked me, well, what do you want it to say? And I wanted to make sure that I gave her enough to work with. So
You were
I,
amazing, Susan. You were extraordinary, and you gave me so much. It was incredible.
well, I appreciate that. But the crazy thing is, everything got in. Everything. And I didn't expect it. It's been a great joy. In fact, you know, I listen to it all the time. I sing it around the house. It's a great song. So we're going to take you out. We're going to play that song for you, the special song that Anne wrote to celebrate the Queensborough Performing Arts Center. We hope you come back and join us on Tuesday for Name That Tune. Anne, thank you so much. This was an absolute delight.
Thank you so much, Susan, and thanks to our wonderful viewers. A beautiful weekend to all of you. Hope to see you Sunday.
We'll see you soon. Folks, stand by. Here comes the original Anne's original song for QPAC. Hang on.
Hey there, spectators, let's be celebrators of the place known as QPAC. It's in Bayside, Queens, the best of both worlds, between Long Island and Flushing. For over 50 years, they've presented the best, keeping students, guys, and gals gushing. Concerts, theater, opera, ballet, they've got their PhD in hip hip hooray. Over 160,000 folks come each year, except in COVID, what a freaky long year. What a university of diversity. The Queensborough community connects with its neighbors. They're all the rage, inspiring every age, 'cause there's lots of love in their labors. Wanna hold court, give them your support, and you'll be shooting the breeze with cool celebrities. Robert Klein, Michael Bowles, and Beverly, Bernadette Peters, be part of the scene. Let's get a kick line going, come on now. Do you need a break from political dirt? Try a touch of heaven right here on earth. I hope this diva has made her point. QPAC is the coolest joint. Now you're all in the know. There's one thing to do.